You know, we spend so much time, so much energy looking for that perfect person, the one who ticks all the boxes, looks right on paper.
Right, the ideal match.
Exactly. But what if? What if the person who actually helps us grow the most, the one who challenges everything, isn't perfect at all? What if they initially drive us, well, completely crazy?
It's an interesting thought
Mhm.
that maybe those messy, unexpected connections, the really complicated ones, are the ones that lead somewhere deeper, force us to face things.
Yeah, force us to confront our own stuff, our fears, maybe.
That contrast is fascinating, isn't it? The pressure for this a flawless relationship versus the often chaotic reality of falling for someone who just turns your world upside down.
It really makes you question what makes a relationship work.
Mm-hmm.
And that exact dynamic, that's what we're digging into today. We're looking at this really captivating book that explores these very ideas, all set against the backdrop of, Regency London society. Glittering, yes, but also incredibly rigid.
Appearances and duty often rule the day there.
Absolutely. Now, before we dive too deep into the analysis, we wanted to mention something for you. If you enjoy really thinking about the themes and ideas in the books we discuss, we have something called Mindful Moments over on our YouTube channel.
Ah, yes, it's a great resource.
It is. It uses AI book analysis, actually, and it's designed to spark reflection, get you thinking critically about these concepts. There's a link right in the show notes if you want to check it out.
Definitely worth a look if these ideas stick with you. Okay, so to really get the tension in this book, we need to meet the main players.
Yeah.
First up, Anthony Bridgerton.
The Viscount, very eligible, head of the family.
Right. Nobleman, specific rank, carries a lot of weight. But underneath all that confidence, he's got this huge sense of duty and, well, a very unique, specific fear hanging over him.
And then there's Kate Sheffield. She's across the ballroom, probably giving him a look.
Probably. She's incredibly sharp-witted, intelligent, definitely not your typical Regency lady.
And fiercely protective of her younger sister, Edwina. Edwina's the one being presented the season's diamond, apparently.
Yeah, the beauty everyone's after. Kate, though, she's pretty sure she's not the marrying type herself. And she looks at guys like Anthony, these notorious rakes, with a whole lot of suspicion.
Especially when they seem interested in her sister.
Exactly. And their ideas about marriage, completely opposed. It all stems from their pasts, really. Anthony saw his father die young.
Which left a huge mark.
A massive one. It convinced him, utterly convinced him, that he'll die young too. Specifically at 39, the same age his father was.
Wow, that's specific.
That's specific. And because of that deep-seated fear, he's decided he absolutely cannot fall in love.
Why? Because leaving someone he loved would be too painful.
Precisely. Too painful for him, too painful for her. So marriage for him is purely, well, duty. Find someone suitable, pleasant enough, have an heir, keep the family line going, but keep his heart locked away. Deliberately.
And Kate on the other side.
She's basically resigned herself to being a spinster. Her whole focus is Edwina, making sure Edwina finds happiness, which in that world means a good, secure marriage.
So when she sees Anthony sniffing around Edwina,
red flags go up immediately. She sees him targeting the season's diamond and instantly labels him a threat. A charming rake who will break her sister's heart. It's not just dislike. It's based on how she sees men like him operate.
he kind of embodies everything she distrusts.
Pretty much. And this clash, it makes their first meetings just electric. The book captures it so well, the witty banter, the verbal sparring.
Like they're sizing each other up constantly.
Exactly. Even Lady Whistledown, the gossip columnist, picks up on it. She notes Anthony's pursuit of Edwina, but also this sort of unexpected friction with Kate.
Their conversations aren't just polite chit-chat.
Not at all. They're like intellectual duels. Kate doesn't back down. She calls him out, challenges his reputation right to his face.
Which must have thrown him completely off guard. He's used to women being, fluttery.
Right. And here's Kate, sharp as a tack, refusing to be impressed or intimidated.
Yeah.
It's maddening for him, definitely. But maybe also a little intriguing.
It's pure antagonism at first, but you can see they recognize something in each other, an intelligence maybe.
Yeah, they see past the usual societal masks, I think. And that dynamic, that challenge, it just gets amplified when they all end up at Aubrey Hall.
The Bridgerton country estate, getting them out of the London ballrooms.
Exactly. Thrown together for longer, in a less formal setting, it changes things. They start seeing different sides of each other.
Like the Pall Mall game, that infamous Bridgerton tradition.
Oh, total chaos. And Kate gets pulled right into it. She's surprisingly competitive, maybe a bit clumsy, but totally into it.
It's a glimpse of her fun side, right? Not just the stern older sister.
Definitely not something Anthony would have expected. It shows she's not just serious and protective.
And then that serpentine incident. That shifts things again, but more seriously.
Yeah, that's a big moment.
Yeah.
Kate's dog, Newton, who's a character in himself, causes some trouble, and Edwina ends up falling into the lake.
Oh, dear.
And Anthony, he doesn't hesitate, just dives right in to save her.
For Kate, seeing this supposed cold rake act so heroically towards her sister.
It must have been jarring. It completely contradicts the image she has of him. Forces her to kind of reassess, maybe he's not just the calculating villain she thought.
It cracks that facade she built. But the real turning point for vulnerability happens during that thunderstorm at Aubrey Hall.
Oh, that scene is crucial. Kate has this deep, paralyzing fear of storms.
Not just dislike, like a real phobia.
Exactly. It's tied to a major trauma. Her mother died during a violent storm when Kate was younger. So when this storm hits, she just hides, terrified, ends up in the library trying to cope alone.
And Anthony finds her.
He finds her. And this is where all the societal games stop. She's completely vulnerable, raw fear. And Anthony, he could leave, but he doesn't.
He stays.
He stays. He sits with her, talks to her, tries to distract her, ground her with his voice. And in that quiet space, Kate tells him about her mother, the storm, the root of her fear.
Wow. That takes incredible trust.
It does. And he reciprocates, shares a bit about his own grief over his father. It's not dramatic, but it's this profound moment of shared pain, shared vulnerability. It builds a connection they hadn't acknowledged before.
It shows how real intimacy can be found in just being present with someone in their fear.
Absolutely. It's powerful. But just as this fragile connection starts to form, boom, the bee sting.
Ah, yes, the infamous bee sting. Anthony has his own issues with bees, right? Tied to his father's death.
Yes, exactly. So when he sees a bee on Kate, he reacts instinctively, maybe overreacts, tries to suck the venom out.
In public, witnessed by everyone.
Including Lady Whistledown. Total scandal in that society. An unmarried woman, a known rake, that kind of public intimacy.
Oh.
Ruinous.
So there's only one way out.
A forced engagement. Suddenly Anthony and Kate are betrothed. It's the last thing either of them wanted or expected.
For Kate, she's marrying the man she thought was dangerous for her sister. The man who annoys her endlessly.
And for Anthony, he's marrying Kate. The sharp-tongued, infuriating woman he's undeniably drawn to, instead of Edwina, the safe choice he picked because he thought he couldn't love her.
Talk about a complicated situation, and Anthony makes the terms pretty clear, doesn't he?
Brutally clear. He sits Kate down and essentially says, okay, we'll marry, we'll be friends, we'll respect each other, we'll have children, but
no love.
Explicitly, no love. He brings up his fear again, dying at 39, can't leave a beloved wife behind. It's his twisted logic for protecting them both, he thinks.
How does Kate take that?
Well, she accepts. She kind of has to, for her reputation, her family. But hearing him say that, spell it out, I will not love you, especially after those vulnerable moments at Aubrey Hall. It's a huge blow.
There's already something growing there, an attraction, even if it's mixed with annoyance.
Exactly. So his words really sting. Their marriage starts under this deliberate shadow he's cast.
They move into his private place, right, for more privacy.
Yeah, away from the main Bridgerton house. And this is where things get really interesting. Because despite Anthony's rules, living together day in and day out, proximity changes things.
The intimacy of married life starts chipping away at his defenses.
Completely. The book shows these small moments, a shared glance, a touch that lasts maybe a second too long, just this intense physical awareness between them.
His body isn't listening to his brain, basically.
Not at all. There are moments, like him kissing her wrist or that very charged scene in the gazebo. They reveal this deep desire that completely contradicts his no-feelings rule.
He must be going crazy internally.
Oh, absolutely. His internal thoughts are all conflict. Frustrated that he's so drawn to this woman he claims he doesn't even like. He wanted duty, logic, but his feelings are just not cooperating.
And he starts seeing her differently too, right? Not just as an obstacle.
Yeah, he starts noticing her intelligence, her wit, her strength, her loyalty. He even dreams about her after the lake incident. She's taking up space in his head, whether he wants her to or not.
And Kate, she must be so confused.
Totally confused. His words say one thing, no love, but his actions, his protectiveness, the attraction, these moments of unexpected tenderness, they scream something else entirely. Her own feelings are growing, making her really vulnerable to his mixed signals.
It's a recipe for emotional turmoil, and it all comes to a head as his dreaded birthday approaches. The
Yeah.
big 3-9.
Yes. His fear just intensifies, becomes almost paralyzing. He gets terrified that if he lets himself love Kate fully, leaving her when he inevitably dies will be unbearable. So what does he do?
He pushes her away.
Exactly. Retreats emotionally, becomes distant, withdrawn. His fear makes him cruel, in a way.
And Kate is just left hurt and baffled.
Understandably, she doesn't get the depth of his struggle at first. But then she talks to his sister, Eloise.
Ah, Eloise, always observant.
And blunt. Eloise basically tells Kate, look, something's wrong with him. He's not just being mean, he's deeply troubled. Which prompts Kate to try and understand, rather than just react to the hurt.
So she pursues him, tries to figure it out.
Yeah, she tries to reach him. And that leads, indirectly, to another crisis, the carriage accident.
Right. A real physical danger this time. Kate gets hurt.
Yes, she's injured and trapped. And Anthony's reaction is pure, unadulterated panic. He's desperately searching for her, terrified of losing her.
That immediate, real fear must overshadow his abstract fear about turning 39.
Completely. Facing the actual possibility of losing Kate right now. It shatters everything. Finding her, injured but alive, breaks down all his walls.
And that's when he finally says it.
In that raw moment of relief and terror and realization, yes, he finally overcomes the fear that's dictated his life and tells her he loves her. Deeply. Undeniably.
Finally, what a release.
For both of them. Kate, even injured, responds with her usual spirit, tells him she loves him too, and the resolution feels earned. Anthony has this moment later, talking to his father's portrait.
Not dwelling on the fear anymore.
No, consciously letting it go. Realizing his father would have wanted him to be happy, to have this love, this family with Kate. And Kate, too, finds a kind of peace, understanding her own storm fear better after talking it through.
Yeah.
It shows how facing those old traumas helps you move on.
Their whole story in this book is just such a fantastic example of how love can show up where you least expect it, right? Often sparked by conflict, by challenge.
Mm-hmm. And how facing your own fears, even the ones that seem totally irrational from the outside, is key. Not just for you, but for building real connection.
It really underscores that sometimes the person who infuriates you is also the one who helps you find yourself.
It makes a strong case that vulnerability isn't weakness. It's actually the path to real intimacy, real understanding.
Yeah. And if you find these themes interesting, personal growth, vulnerability, complex relationships in literature, remember to check out Mindful Moments on our YouTube channel.
And our other deep dives here, of course. They're great ways to explore these kinds of stories and the big ideas behind them more deeply.
Definitely. So, thinking about Anthony and Kate's journey in this book, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What irrational fears or maybe old wounds might you be holding on to? Things that might be limiting your own connections or maybe holding you back from a life that could be unexpectedly fulfilling.
It's a really powerful question to sit with. The book definitely gives us a lot to think about there.
It does. If you found this exploration insightful, please do subscribe to our channel or feed wherever you're listening so you don't miss our future explorations.
And share it with a friend, especially one who loves surprising stories about love and overcoming big challenges.
Absolutely. And if you want to read the full story yourself, there's a link to purchase the book in the show notes. As always, keep thinking critically about the stories and ideas you come across.